Yo, what's good, debate fam? It's your boy Henderson with facts that don't miss. Today we're diving into one of the most disturbing and bizarre true crime cases in American history. The Denver Spider-Man murder of 1941. A killer who didn't just break in, commit the crime and run, but moved into the attic like a real-life spider and lived there for months, even after brutally murdering the homeowner. If you think you've heard creepy home invasion stories before, this one is going to make your skin crawl. Let's get into it. Most murder cases are straightforward. Someone breaks in, does the deed, and flees the scene. But what if the killer decided the house was now his? What if he stayed hidden right above the police and the victim's family for nearly a year, coming down at night to eat their food while they search for the murderer downstairs? This isn't fiction. This is the true story of Theodore Edward Coneys, the Denver Spider-Man. And it's about to get way darker than you expect. The Denver Spider-Man story is a true crime legend. September 1941, Theodore Edward Coneys, a 58-year-old drifter and former acquaintance of 73-year-old Philip Peters, shows up at Peters' home at 3335 West Moncrief Place in Denver, Colorado. Peters is a retired railroad worker who had lived in that house for decades. Coneys originally planned to ask for a handout, but when Peters wasn't home, he broke in to steal food and money. While exploring the house, he discovered a small trap door in the ceiling of a closet that led to a tiny, cramped crawl space in the attic. It was barely big enough for a man to fit. Hot, dusty, and suffocating. Instead of leaving, Coneys decided to secretly move in. For the next 5 weeks, he lived undetected in that attic, sneaking down that night village to raid the fridge and move around the house while Philip Peters went about his normal life completely unaware that someone was living above him. Then came October 17, 1941. Peters comes home and catches Coneys red-handed, standing at the refrigerator in the middle of the night. A violent fight breaks out. Peters, an elderly man, village, swings at Coneys with his cane. Coneys grabs a heavy cast iron stove shaker and brutally beats Peters to death. The old man is left lying in a pool of blood. But here's where the story becomes pure nightmare fuel. Coneys doesn't run. He goes right back up into that tiny attic and stays there for the next 9 months while police investigate the murder, while neighbors come by, and while Peters' wife Helen lives in the house. Theodore Coneys is hiding in the crawl space like a spider. He comes down only at night, eats their food, village, uses the bathroom, and moves around the house. The police are baffled. No forced entry, doors and windows locked from the inside. Helen eventually moves out because of strange noises, disappearing food, and a horrible smell. Neighbors complain. Police check the house multiple times, but miss the tiny trap door. Coneys is living in his own filth up there, a year's worth of waste accumulating in that tiny space. In July 1942, police finally put the house under constant surveillance. Detectives spot movement. They search the attic, pull back the trap door, and there he is, village. A gaunt, filthy, emaciated Theodore Coneys, barely alive but still hiding. He confesses everything. Theodore Coneys was convicted of first-degree murder in October 1942 village and sentenced to life in prison. He died there in 1967. This case forces us to confront some terrifying truths. How well do you really know what's happening inside your own home? How long could someone hide right above your head without you knowing? And what does it say about human desperation? That a man would choose to live like a spider in an attic rather than face the world. The physical murder was brutal, but the psychological horror of someone living undetected in your house for months after killing the owner, that's the part that still keeps people up at night. So debate, fam. What creeps you out more, the murder itself or the 9 months Coneys spent living like a ghost in the attic? Could something like this happen today? Drop your thoughts in the comments right now. Comment at your own risk, because I'm reading every single one, and some of y'all takes still suck. If this story messed with your head, smash that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications. We're doing more deep dives like this every week. This has been Henderson on Let's Debate, where we drag the monsters out of the attic. I'll see you in the next one. Let's debate. Subscribe for more.